On this episode, we're diving into a trip packed with delicious dining, new to us accommodations, and unforgettable experiences. Today's January 24th, 2025, and this is episode 740 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys! Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
If you want to be part of the community and join the conversation, in addition to live streams from the parks and our weekly live show, head to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service. Want to get a free Disney e-gift card up to $250? Book a qualifying Walt Disney World or Disneyland room or package through our preferred travel partner, MEI Travel, and get a Disney e-gift card valued up to $250. This offer is valid for bookings made between January 2nd and February 28th, 2025 for travel check-in dates through August 31st, 2025. Certain restrictions apply. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today.
So we're rounding out our Festival of the Arts weekend with finishing up the rest of our fun weekend that we had and where we stayed.
Yeah, we'll talk about where we stayed, which was new to us, and we'll talk about a couple dining updates, all of ones we've done in the past, and you get a lot more info from previous episodes. So when we get to them, we're kind of going to talk about the items we had and what we thought of them. So let's start first with the Delta Orlando celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, huge shout out to Amy.
Yes.
MEI Travel.
Yes.
She located this for us. I went back, and this is, again, there's another reason you use a travel advisor.
100%.
Because they will save you so much time and headache. Because I was looking at a few places, and I was like, you know what? This is what Amy does, and she's amazing at. So she was able to go, like she will always do, and give me several options of some things we could do. Because we're just coming out of holidays, because we're going again Thursday, we're going in February, we've got Disneyland coming up. We were looking for something off property, but close enough, and something that was new to us that we could talk about.
Well, let's be honest. We were looking for something that was inexpensive.
Very inexpensive, yes. But I buried the lead a little bit there, but that was the real main reason.
Unfortunately, there was nothing at Disney that was really a good price.
Springs,
Flamingo Crossing.
We started
even
looking down
Universal.
towards Universal. Yep.
So, we went the opposite way and searched in like the celebration area.
Yeah. And
we have stayed at a Delta before.
Mm-hmm.
And Amy found this Delta Orlando celebration for us. So when we checked in, we were checking in that night when it was dark. Mm-hmm. So going there was very simple to get there. It was great.
It's a straight shot from Disney. You're on there on 192.
Yes.
Right into celebration.
But it was super funny because we were like, I have no idea where we were until the next morning when it was light. And we were actually right across the street from the Malia.
Yeah. Which, if you've been to last year, Main Street 16, and we did our Friday night trivia there. They're wonderful friends of Give Kids the World. Like, it's a great hotel, but we haven't actually stayed there, but we've been there many times.
Yes.
And it's literally across the street from that.
Yeah.
And the next morning, we're like, oh, I know where we are.
Yeah.
And you are very close, right? So, well, to go ahead, we're going to go through some kind of little categories about what we thought, but go ahead and just get through our check-in.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. So, we went to check in and we got our room. Jeremy did have a printout of the paper because, the way things were, it, said everything was included. But normally they have a, parking fee and a resort fee.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there was apparently when we told her this, because she was going to say there was a resort fee and parking fee, and we're like, wait, this is what the paper shows. And apparently very tiny fine print that we did not see. It was if you this is what you pay without the resort fee if you stay longer than 7 days.
Yeah, there's no resort fee.
So
There's no resort fee if you stay 7 days or longer. The way it is written on our voucher accommodation is very, very confusing.
yes.
Because it states you will pay parking. Here's how much it is a night, and your total payable on arrival is $85.14. So that's $24 a night, taxes, fees, whatever. Underneath it, it is very, very confusing because they discount the parking fee if you stay 7 days or longer. They do something with it's just very, very confusing.
It was.
What I saw was payable on arrival is $85.14. So I said, hey, and I had it printed out because I was concerned this might occur.
Correct.
And Amy gave me a heads up because she's wonderful. And so I pulled out the paper, I showed her, and she goes, that's for 7 nights or longer. And I'm like, you understand what this says here, though, in the confusion, right? And she goes, yes, I will waive the resort fee.
Yes.
But normally you will pay I think it ends up being with taxes, because it's $25 a night. They have a 13.5% tax on it, $28.38 per stay, per room, per night. Okay?
Yes.
So that's the way it goes. And I'm sorry, if you're 7 nights or longer, they discount that, and it's $11.35 per night.
Yeah.
Not only though, and here's the one thing, because we hate resort fees. Here's the one thing I will give them credit for. First of all, I will give them credit for the fact that she said, yes, I understand that is confusing. I will waive it.
Yeah.
There wasn't. I'm almost waiting for a fight. You know what I mean? Like, not a fight, but I'm waiting to say, I'm going to have to figure out how to explain to her that this is really worded wrong. It's not right. Are they going to bring a manager? No, she was wonderful about it. Super duper impressed with that.
Yes.
So I want to make sure I put that part out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I'm sorry. But with that,
Yeah,
with the resort fee, and again, this is what I hate at places that go, well, you have access to our pool. Yeah, I know. I have that everywhere.
Right.
It's a pool. And if I don't use it, you still charge me the resort fee.
Right.
What is cool about here is that they do give you a $25 credit per day that does not roll over.
Correct.
So it's use it or lose it that day.
Correct.
And it is good at the 3 different places to eat and drink and stuff on site there. One of those serves Starbucks.
Correct.
If you think you will spend $25 per day at the resort, whether it's Starbucks in the morning, it's something to eat in the evening or whatever, it's just like prepaying.
Yeah.
And to me, that resort fee does not bother me as much. You technically pay a little bit more on that tax, but you're getting your $25 back each night if you choose to take advantage of it.
Right.
Now, if you don't, then it's still just a resort fee like any other, and it offers no real benefit.
Right.
And that's my piece on that. Back to you, Rhonda.
So we're checking in. She gives us our key. We go up to our room, and Jeremy uses the key to walk through the door. And this is the very first time this has ever happened to us in my
I mean, how many
years
nights?
of
How many nights do you think
living
we've stayed in a hotel
well,
just
I'm
in the
sa-
past decade?
I'm like, period, just living and visiting hotels and whatever that. But Jeremy opened the door, and I like how he described it because it's almost like a cartoon where your eyes go to one thing.
You know what I'm thinking of is it's like a cartoon where you're say to your dog or whatever, right? Hey, you want to go? I can't say it because they're in the room and they'll freak out. Like, you want to go for an RIDE, and the dog's all excited, and they get in the passenger seat, and then you start driving, and all of a sudden the dog like looks, and he's like, "Wait, that's not the road we're supposed to turn down. Wait, why is there this thing a leash in the back? Wait, we're going to the vet?" And you all of a sudden like realize that's what's happening. That was me, because I walk in, suitcase behind me. I go, "There's a suitcase. There's Adidas slides. Both of the beds are perfectly made." I turn around and go, "Somebody else is in here." And I just book it out.
Yeah, he just backs
Rhonda holds
up.
the door open like she wants to double check.
I'm like, and I see the thing, and I'm like, oh God. And we immediately get out.
Yeah. There was
And
no
the
person
door-
currently in the room
Yes.
as far as a human, but the human stuff was there.
Oh my gosh.
Obviously, somebody already had occupied that room and was staying in it.
So we were frustrated, shocked, a little worried. And
That's off-putting immediately.
oh, 100%.
Especially when you are at a place you've never stayed.
Correct.
In an area that you know, but you're still not 100% familiar with.
Yes.
And this is a old new resort. It is a much older resort that Marriott has bought with this Delta brand. They've come in, they've redone everything. It looks wonderful. It is great, and we'll kind of talk about that. But you know that it's an older resort. It just behind it is the old Sun Resort, which has completely been, banished for however long. It's been abandoned forever. It's got all the windows have been torn out, but you can still look in the rooms and see some furniture, and there might be people living in it. There's definitely animals living in it. There's God knows what. That's what backs up to this thing. There's an older strip mall in front of it. There's a lot of apartments around it, and some of those don't look the best. And one of the buildings, we weren't sure if they were tearing down or putting up. Okay?
Yes.
With that being said, it's a little concerning that they so easily gave us a key to somebody else's room, even though I do know that happens very, very commonly in the hotel world. Like Rana said, it's the first time it has happened to us in hundreds and hundreds of hotel check-ins.
Yes. And so we go back downstairs, and she was very kind. I don't think there's a upgradable situation in this
I
place.
think it's pretty much all two queen bedrooms.
So we just got another regular bed room. But they went and checked first. There was nobody in there.
And the way she explained it, which makes sense, and I know this is what happens, and we've heard from Disney friends that front of house, lobby, check-in, and back of house housekeeping don't always have the best communication.
Well, we kind of found that out with Lacey the one time, unfortunately.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. We've learned that from Disney.
Right.
So, again, not uncommon. And her explanation is, hey, housekeeping had marked this room as vacant, most likely accidentally. That's the only reason it even allowed to just auto-assign it. Again, it's not like she's up there like, ooh, 1219. There's a guy in there. This is going to be fun. Literally, the computer goes, these two people are here. They need a room. Here's one that the computer shows available and vacant because housekeeping said so.
Yeah.
We got into our new room. All was well. There was some sort of college football convention. And knowing my brother, who has made his bed every morning, even when he travels, which he does a lot for the past 20 years, it is not uncommon for a college coach or player to make their beds every morning. So my guess is one small suitcase, a pair of Adidas slides, very well-made bed and clean room. It was probably one of those college coaches.
Or
I'm just glad he wasn't in there butt naked.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Or it was they just checked in too.
Yeah.
And
dropped
stuff
and
whatever.
Right. A greeting, an opening night thing. So,
but we were just very grateful that nobody was in there. And now, going back to our Run Disney when we went to bed and somebody tried to get in our room.
Yeah.
Just always make sure that latch is shut. Yeah. Make sure you're, and I would even, if you're going to shower or something, make sure, because again, if that was open, oh God,
somebody walk right in.
It could have been really bad.
A lot of work. It could have been.
It could have been real bad.
Go as worse as things can get.
Oh, just use your imagination, and yes, that could have been.
There could have been memories that would have lasted a whole bunch of people a long time that they wish they could get out of their head potentially.
And not only that, but we would have all been probably compensated from
very
that.
Well, so yeah. But then Ron and I are thinking again, the Friday night we get home, or I'm sorry, Thursday night we get back from our day out and all, and we go and we get pizza and we get some chips and stuff, and we're just sitting on the food bed because there's two queens, one that we're going to eat in, one that we're going to sleep in, and we're just sitting on the food bed in pajamas watching whatever was on TV, and if somebody had walked in and you and I are just sitting Indian style, I'm just shoving pizza and stuff in my face still. That would be quite jarring.
Oh,
so
100%.
But all that to be said, this, from our experience, did not seem like an unsafe hotel at all. It seemed very on the up and up.
Because you had to get into the hotel room with your key at dusk.
Every single entrance.
Sometimes I don't think it was working.
We still had to use it during daylight.
Sometimes
once or twice,
we would,
Yeah, it's so again, I think all that part is wonderful.
Yeah.
I never felt unsafe, or we never felt unsafe once. Out of precaution, we always bring a lot of things in from our vehicle. Even if I don't need my laptop, I'm not going to leave it in my car. that's anywhere.
And my truck was fine. Everything
was fine. All that
was
being
fine.
said, we're going to go through a couple things like about the resort. Location was wonderful.
Location
Right?
was wonderful.
Amenities. We didn't use a pool, obviously, but they've got kind of like 2 pools. They had a slide. They've got a little rum shack, tiki bar that's sitting out there. They got a 24-hour fitness center, and they've got a little yard kind of area out by it where you can do like yoga, and they've got yoga mats and stuff. There was an area that they were working on, but it was done by this morning when we left. That's like a courtyard with a gazebo that, it's got a convention center. So that's probably an area that you could do like after a day of, meetings and stuff. Maybe your company rents that out and you guys have cocktails and hors d'oeuvres there. They have an indoor restaurant and bar, very large area in the lobby. They've got a marketplace with grab and go that you get Starbucks coffee from.
They were even doing Mickey waffles.
Yep. I thought the amenities for it were really great. The food wasn't great. Like we got the pizza one night, which it says is Flipper's Pizza. It was awful. I ate a bunch of it, but it was not very good. I think they're getting Flippers probably gives them their dough and the rest is up to them, but they were also just slammed. A lot of the other food I saw people getting looked very good. I thought it was a good resort with things to do there where, you look at a place that you say, I just need somewhere to lay my head. I do think this is one during warmer weather. You could have a rest day and hang out by the pool and get something to eat there for lunch at the little, pool bar. And then maybe at night you go and you sit around the bar or that area where you could sit with your family and order something. Like, I thought the amenities were pretty dang good for what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the service and staff? I mean, they were wonderful, the 2 interactions, even though, you know, and I think it's one of those things, there's no reason in our opinion for an honest mistake for us to go down and raise heck because that happened with the room and try and get a bunch of free stuff.
Yeah.
The lady that checked us in and waived the resort fee, she still gave us the $25 credit, which we used up.
Yes.
We used,
Yes.
So I still thought the interaction of the person who helped us get the room situated was wonderful. There was no reason for her just to offer things when we didn't act like we needed something in return for the mistake. If we had, I am willing to bet they would have done something, whatever it would have been. It seemed like that type of place. So I was very happy with the service. What do you think about let's go through cleanliness and the overall atmosphere, decor, like whatever? Did you feel it was clean? Did you?
I felt like it was clean. It was, and it smelled good and clean.
Yep.
But it was just like Jeremy said. It was an older hotel.
Yeah, old clean.
Old clean. There you go. The beds were very comfortable. I slept very good every night.
Yeah.
I didn't feel unsafe.
Yeah.
I mean, would I stay here again? Possibly if the price was right. But because we've been at Malia and we've, I would probably look there first as opposed to this one.
Yeah, if it was same price, I'd go to Malia.
Yeah.
Or even if Malia was a little bit more.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say. Again, the rooms were fine. The bathroom is old. Everything is in one bathroom.
It's tiny.
It is where, I'm not saying you would want to, but just to give you a picture of the size of it. If you were sitting on the toilet, you can't open the door.
No,
it's
you
gonna
cannot.
hit you in the knees.
Yeah.
Even if you're not sitting on the toilet, you only had about an inch of clearance between door and toilet.
And
right?
it's one of those things, if you're sitting on the toilet and like, I don't know how most couples are, but if you're like, oh, I don't mind peeing in front of my, person, then you start peeing and you're like, oh, I need to shut the door now. You can't.
You're going to have to do some maneuvering.
You're going to stand up.
Put your legs to the right or stand up and move out of the way.
Yeah.
But even a situation where if you were like, again, we can be that couple. I see you pee. It's fine. But if I was out in the room and like, we're going to bed, I need to brush my teeth. Do you mind if I come brush my teeth while you're on the toilet? There wouldn't be room for it.
No.
Right? Unless we're really friendly because I could sit on your lap at that point and brush my teeth. Standard. It's pretty standard old tub shower. Again, nothing to write home about. The beds were very comfy. You had a table. You had 2 chairs because it is a convention center. This was built in whatever year they still had air conditioning and heating units that were visual inside your room, right?
Right.
And the TV was god awful. It just was not good. Ours kept buffering. The remote was very non-responsive. It's that old like universal clunky remote. The guide and the interaction was awful. So don't come here.
So
if you
needless
watch
to
TV.
say, if you want to stay, you can stay here if you just need a place to lay your head. And
No, but here's what I'm saying. Listen. Here's what I'm going to say about it. There are certain people that this will be perfectly great for, and there's people that this would be awful for.
Yes.
And for us, we would stay here again if the situation is right.
Yeah.
Like it was for this weekend.
Yeah.
I wouldn't specifically say, let's go look at the Delta in one of our top 5 off-property hotels here. No, it's never going to come in that list.
Yeah.
But it works for who it works for.
Yeah.
I'm not going to book my brother here, right?
No.
But your parents would stay here.
Yeah.
My parents would stay here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Rob and Tina, we wouldn't say, hey, we're going to Disney, but we're going to stay off property. We think you'd really like the Delta.
Right.
Not because they're fancy people or anything. It just might not be on the level that some people are accustomed to.
Yeah.
That's all. You're not getting, even though it has some moderate and deluxe style amenities like the pool and the slide and restaurants, it is not on any of those levels.
Right.
So that's what we'll say about the Delta. All right. So let's talk food. As we mentioned earlier, we have been to all these places. We enjoy all these places. That's why we go back. So we're going to talk about some new to us items.
Yeah.
We're going to start with Yak and Yeti.
Yes.
I've talked about the Fetch app in the past,
Yes.
where you scan receipts, you earn points, you can get some bonus points depending on what you buy, all that good stuff. And I've been using them to trade them in for Landry's gift cards, which we use at Yak and Yeti.
Correct.
And about every 6 months, I can get like a $25 gift card. That's not bad, right?
Correct.
They now include Disney, Rhonda.
Oh my
Actual
gosh.
Disney
Are you
gift cards.
so excited?
I am. I got my first one. They send you a regular digital gift card the same way that you can buy them online, Disney gift cards, and they send you that digital one. You can copy the number. You can go to DisneyGiftCard.com. You can put the number in there and then use it on a physical gift card. Of course, we had the wristlet for Festival of the Arts, so I just transferred that 25 to there. All good.
Woohoo!
But we had some gift cards to Yak and Yeti,
Yes.
so we thought we'd stop by there. Let's start with a new appetizer for us that we have not had here before. And, of course, we love Yak and Yeti.
Yes, we do.
One of my top 5 favorite restaurants. on
Yeah,
property.
and we went ahead and sat at a table, which was super nice. We got a firecracker shrimp, which is crispy fried shrimp and shishito peppers tossed in a creamy, spicy sauce with Asian slaw for $14.99.
Bang Bang Shrimp, right?
Pretty
Really?
much, yep.
Is what you'd call it at a
Yeah.
lot of places.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
It was really good. I think the Asian slaw, like eating it all together, like was really good. I
Yeah.
could see like it was a good shareable size for just me and you.
Very.
I could totally see like if I was like not starving to get this as a side.
Yeah.
As my like meal and just eating
totally.
it as like a take on a firecracker shrimp salad.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have that Asian kind of slaw and the crispy noodles underneath. They're good balance with a little bit of the heat from kind of that Bang Bang sauce.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. I would definitely get it again. They're not huge shrimp by any means.
No.
But they taste fresh. They're lightly fried. I love the fry that they put on things there. I really enjoyed it. So we thought we would split some sort of entree. And
And you wanted noodles.
I wanted noodles.
And I was so down for that.
Yeah, right. We were both so hungry. So we each got a Heineken Zero. They do
Yes.
have those there,
Yes.
which is great. And it's actually on the menu there,
Yes,
which is
it was.
surprising. So I'm looking through and I'm like looking at the lo mein and I'm like, lo mein is still just, I don't know. Like I like lo mein, but I can kind of just get that at home. And
Yeah.
it wasn't too adventurous or anything. And then I saw the Thai basil chicken. So this is wok fried ground chicken, shiitake mushrooms, sugar snap peas, peppers, Thai basil, wide egg noodles toasted in spicy basil sauce.
Tossed.
I'm sorry, tossed
Was it
in
toasted?
Yeah, tossed in spicy basil sauce. And then as I'm reading this, it says choice of jasmine or brown rice. She didn't ask us for either, so we didn't get either.
And
Not
then you
that
can
we needed
substitute
it,
for chicken fried rice
Yeah.
for $3.99.
which if I had known, I probably would have done. Actually,
Or the jasmine rice would have been amazing.
jasmine
with
rice would have
this.
been really good, but so that was weird. But anyways, $28.99. It is a huge dish. It is very shareable.
Yeah.
It has these wide, which taste like house-made egg noodles. I love this ground wok chicken.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it's
was
not
good.
just like ground meat, but it's not like chopped or like shredded. It's just, I don't know why I love it.
It was
Some of
good.
it clumps together. Like everything about it was great.
Yes, it was.
And you know what else?
What?
It's good cold.
Good.
That night
We
or the
did
next
take,
night.
yeah, we did take some back to our room, and we don't have a microwave in our room.
Yeah.
but Jeremy ate this cold. It was lucky that it was colder out that day.
Yeah.
So we did go over to Disney Springs, and it was nice because I actually kept, because of parking in the garage, my roof sunroof opened.
Yeah.
And then it kept it nice and cool in the truck.
A refrigerated truck.
Pretty much.
So it was perfect. But it was,
Yeah.
I really like this.
Yeah.
This is another one I would get again and again. We've tried a lot of things at Yak and Yeti, and we've said it before. I said it to Rhonda that day. I love the place so much because you could go like once or twice a month there throughout the year and never order the same thing twice.
Yeah.
And probably like everything. The only thing I haven't loved there was their duck. And it wasn't because it wasn't good. There's just so much better duck that I wanted to compare it to it around property.
Right.
But it just didn't fit the bill.
But chunk.
Let's go over to CityWorks Poorhouse. We went over there to meet up with John.
Yeah.
And so we sat there. They do have a specialty mocktail this month, and they have a chef select menu. So we wanted to get one of the items on there.
Yep.
We'll start with a Mellow Mule mocktail, which is always on their menu, and I've had before. It's cucumber, honey syrup, mango syrup, lime juice, and ginger beer. Really just tastes pretty much like a Moscow Mule, just with no alcohol.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy that. These are like $12 each. And then what did you get, which is part of the Chef Select?
Yeah, they got a cucumber cure mocktail, and this is the ritual gin alternative. And then you've got cucumber mint, simple syrup, lime juice, ginger beer, and soda water. This was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I let you taste it.
Very refreshing.
It was, but a little too much cucumber, you felt like?
A little too much, but not so much that I wouldn't drink it.
Okay.
We'll just say that.
I really enjoyed it.
I did too. I like this a lot. John got the queso dip. That's always on the menu. We had not had it before, though, so I did try it. It's hot chorizo, pepper jack cheese sauce, Fresno chilies, queso fresco, micro cilantro. Comes with corn tortilla chips for $15.95. It's good queso, but it's really thick. Really thick.
Okay. I didn't taste it.
Which I didn't love. But the flavors
Okay.
and all were good. The chorizo was good. The ground up chorizo on top. What did we get that is part of the Chef Select menu?
So they had pimento pork rinds. This is barbecue spiced pork rinds and pimento cheese dip for $12.45.
Good portion.
We thought it was going to be kind of like Epcot's, and it was. This pimento cheese was thick, and I felt like very homemade because it was thick pieces of cheddar cheese.
Yes, very.
Like it was actually shredded.
Yes. Yeah,
on
like shredded
hand.
off of the block back in the kitchen. Agreed.
I thought it was really good, but it was just, this pimento cheese reminded me of a pimento cheese that should be on a sandwich.
I was just going to say it. This is what you make a pimento grilled cheese out of.
Yes.
Because of how thick it is. And it can melt a little and it's not going to run everywhere. If you take a good pimento cheese dip, you can't put that on a sandwich. It's just going to get gooey all over the place. So I agree. The pork rinds had some of the worst ones ever and some of the best ones ever. It was so inconsistent, but you really needed a sturdy pork rind or you needed a spoon. Like you couldn't dip in this thing.
Yeah.
And John was like, I was wondering why they didn't do tortilla chips. Now I know.
Yeah.
Because of how thick that
It was
pimento
very
cheese
thick.
was. But I like the flavors.
Would you get it again?
No, because of the pork rinds.
Yeah.
There were not enough good pork rinds.
Well, and I think I'd want bread with this. And
I
go,
could almost
can
see
you,
like a toasted
can you make
baguette. I would like a toasted baguette and almost make your own little sandwich out of it. But the pimento cheese and the thickness on its own was good.
Right.
I just think you either need a spoon or you need to thin it out a little bit with maybe some cream or something like that. Of course, after there, we had to go over to Salt and Straw. So right now they've got their monthly January special flavors, which they always do as vegan, so they're dairy free. And so they still have the regular non-dairy free ice creams. They're normal ones. We've had a lot of those. We love them, but we always try and get what the month flavor is.
Yes.
So that's what we did, each of us.
We did.
What did you get? And we did both taste them before we ordered full scoops. I learned my lesson with the
Yes, you did.
tiramisu, whatever else it was.
Yeah. So they had a Bananas Foster's with candied pecans. This is a show-stopping banana-infused coconut cream drizzle with banana Foster caramel and candied pecans. And I feel like this is exactly what it says. It was really good. It was heavy banana. but I really enjoyed it. Put it in a waffle cone. I really did enjoy it.
I love their waffle
I
cones.
will say after the fact and like having other ice cream, I think I did miss the cream part of it, but this was very, very good.
Yeah, I went with their chocolate caramel corn with candied peanuts. This is a winning combination of corn-infused coconut and oat milk, caramel-coated popcorn and roasted peanuts, and chocolate stracciatella. Just like I thought it was really good. This will satisfy your cold sweet tooth. It won't satisfy your ice cream tooth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll agree.
Again, I liked it, but it's icy.
Yes,
More,
it is.
So it's more of
It's not creamy. It's icy.
Ice Dream. Isn't that what Chick-fil-A calls there? It's much more of an ice-based one than the obviously the cream dairy-based one. So I missed that. So it did not satisfy that tooth. But Plaza Ice Cream Parlor did last night because we did a sundae with 2 scoops.
Yeah.
What did we get? Cookies? I didn't put it on the notes, so we'll just talk about it real quick.
Okay. Yeah, last night, well, let's go ahead and
get through and then we'll finish there.
Okay.
Okay, so Saturday, so this was now our Thursday.
Yes.
We spent Friday eating at Festival of the Arts, which you can all hear all about last episode. Mm-hmm. We had the Gross Flippers pizza, some chips and salsa and queso, which were good in the room over at Delta. And then Saturday, we met up with Tay and Steph and Steve.
Yep.
We did a little bit more farts.
Yep.
And then they started talking about like what we're going to do that evening and dinner.
And they were staying at Wilderness Lodge. Yep. And we're like, what about Whispering Canyon? And everybody was like, I'm down for that.
Okay. Yeah, Steve looked up, got a 6:05 reservation, and we thought, let's make our way to Wilderness. And it was perfect because we had a car and Steve had a car.
Yep.
So we drove Tay and Steph, and we could easily, of course, get into Wilderness Lodge because they are staying there. Mm-hmm. And then Steve had the reservation, so he was able to go and park.
Yep.
So the transportation getting there was just about as perfect as it can ever be.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Right?
Yeah. So we did, and we stopped in Territory Lounge.
I love it.
It was great. And saw Steve's friends.
Mike
Mike
at the bar and Susan.
Susan. Yes. It was great.
They're all Coronado fam.
Yeah. So it was
which is
really
awesome.
cool.
So it's like a little reunion with all of them. And then we've met Mike multiple times. Yeah. And it was our first time meeting Susan, but like we'd go back.
But she felt like
just
she
to
knew
see her.
us, and I feel like we
ran into each other.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
Yes.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because she was at Dahlia, so I'm sure we saw her. But yeah, so we kind of hung out there before we went to Whispering Canyon. We each got an mojito, basically.
Yep.
And then Stephanie was wanting a espresso martini, and she asked if they could make it. And then she was like, do you want Bailey's or Kahlua in it? And Steph was like, why not both? And so it looked to be an amazing espresso martini. She said it was very good.
Yeah.
So that was
Territory
awesome.
Lounge is just such a great place to hang out.
Yep.
They have a wonderful charcuterie board. They have this little popcorn trio. Like they have some good eats, but it's a great place to stop, get a drink. They do have O'Doul's there, I think as well, right? Is the one they have there because I had that in the past.
Yes, they do.
Even if you're like, you're going to eat at Artist Point, which Tay and Steph did the night before and said they loved it.
Yes.
It was great. If you're going to eat at Geyser Point, if you're going to Whispering Canyon Cafe, this is such a good place to stop, get a drink, or maybe get a little appetizer and a drink, or it's just where you collect with some friends and whatever. So love it there.
Yep.
We made our way over to Whispering Canyon Cafe.
We did. Now, we have only ever eaten...
I swear we've done breakfast there. I know we have been there twice because I knew the tables we sat at. And I think we went on Christmas Day with the girls.
We went on Christmas Day.
But it wasn't their standard menu. It was a Christmas skillet only per person. I swear we went sometime with the girls for breakfast, and we sat back where I was pointing to, closer to Artist Point and all. Unless there was somebody else there and we popped in to say hello and they were eating there, we had been in that area, and I remember specifically ketchup in that area.
I don't think we did, but anyways.
We've been there. Now, whether
like you said.
Whether we were eating there, maybe we popped in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways.
But we had not done a standard dinner.
And I didn't know that you can get an all you care to enjoy signature skillet or they have some main entrees, and then they actually have starters.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, awesome. I was not starving for all the food. So they actually have in the starters a Whispering Canyon house salad for $11. This is dried cranberries, seed brittle, goat cheese, and cranberry poppy seed vinaigrette. And these were like pumpkin seed. No. Oh,
It was almost it was
sunflower
like
seed.
Yeah, sunflower seed like a
like
bar.
a brittle,
was-
like
yeah,
where
it was broken up then,
it
yeah.
was so good. I absolutely loved this
It was a
salad.
delicious, refreshing salad.
It was 100%.
Lori was our cast member.
Yes.
And and if you don't know, like Whispering Canyon is, how do you like, I only notice it like they treat you like family. They mess with you. It's a give and take. It's a throw napkins on the table.
Yes,
It's
this is not. You need to be prepared because I feel like if you go and you're not sure about
like
this,
Lacey on Christmas Day was like, that guy's mean. And I'm like, no, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Because when she didn't want what they had to serve, he's like, oh, I see who the difficult one is. Like, that's the type of stuff they'll do.
Yep.
So, and like 4 out of 5 of us were apparently very difficult, but she loved Steph.
Oh yeah,
So-
Steph was her favorite.
But she was
Amazing.
awesome.
She was.
And again, they will mess with you. So everybody knows I don't like to be part of a show. I like to witness it, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't want to get involved, so I would have never asked for this. But I wonder if you could get any sort of protein on that salad.
Oh,
You know
I'm
what I mean?
Sure,
like, could you get
probably.
some chicken or something, or maybe some? I don't know what they had. Like, but I would never dream of asking it because of what her response. And in the end, yes, they will get you whatever you want, and they are wonderful. But it's that type.
It might come, but it might come with some things.
Yeah, it might come with a little harassment in a fun way.
Right.
So yeah, so just know that going in here. And Lori was one of the best.
What
Seriously.
else did they have on their starters?
So they had burnt ends nachos for $14. Rhonda was difficult for just getting a salad under the starters for her meal, and I was being difficult for getting this as my meal. So it is topped. It's chips. It's topped with beef brisket, barbecue pulled pork, cheese sauce, maple chipotle barbecue, and fresh salsa. It is a good portion like you would expect from a starter or an appetizer, but it easily made a meal. I loved every part of it. I'd compare it most to the ones over at Gurgling Suitcase. Very comparable to what they have over at like Captain Cook's with their pulled pork nachos there. I really, really liked it. And I got a side of fries.
Only after
After Steve.
Steve ordered his, which he went ahead and went with the main entree, which is a char-crusted New York strip for $39. And it comes with potatoes au gratin, seasoned vegetables, and cowboy butter. So he took out the seasoned vegetables and got fries.
Yeah.
So then Jeremy was able to say a side of fries with
By the
his.
time it got to me. And she was still like, oh, you're going to be that difficult. It's like, you already got to put the fries in for him. You can just throw. So that was the type of thing, the like interaction. And if you don't know about ketchup there, ask for ketchup. If you know about ketchup there, you might not choose to.
And Jeremy
I was
chose
choosing
not to.
The fries could have used it, but did not need it. But I didn't want to get involved.
This was
And then at the one point, though, Lori looked at me at one point, she's like, how are those fries? Would you like ketchup with them? And I was just like, I'm all good. Thank you very much. And I really wanted some ketchup, but I didn't need it.
Yeah.
But it was, and then there's ketchup on a table behind us after they got up. And we're like, Steph, just turn around, like grab the ketchup. Nobody's looking. And she's like, I'm not getting in trouble because she was the favorite.
Right.
It was great. And then Kim was eyeballing us, who helped seat us, right? Or she was just like one of the.
I think she was just one of
But she's kind of looking, and like I'm like, well, she's kind of looking. I wouldn't grab ketchup. If one of them sees you, like it's over. So it was so much fun. It was
fun.
It was one of those like unexpected Whispering Canyon to go for dinner that night. I had never thought in my mind. If you had said name 20 restaurants at Disney that you'd go to tonight for dinner, I wouldn't have brought up Whispering Canyon.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to be much better in my life about just going with the flow.
I'm proud of you.
I didn't particularly want to go to Whispering Canyon. I wouldn't have brought it up. When y'all said it, I said, you know what? We're going to go to Whispering Canyon. And we went, and I had the best freaking time.
It was
I
great.
loved our time at Territory with them, our time at Whispering Canyon.
It was great.
But then it was time to part ways because Tay and Steph were going to go enjoy their room and their balcony.
I did,
right?
and I wanted to real quick talk that Tay got
the skillet.
This strip too, but Stephanie got the skillet, and so it was funny because when she was bringing it out, like Jeremy was all asking me personally, like, "Is there bread?" And she brings out bread, but just for
the skillet, yeah.
which was for Steph. And she basically kind of joked and was like, "This is for you. Don't share it." Yeah. So Steph wanted to stay the favorite. So, and it was hysterical because she really didn't eat a ton.
It is
but
a lot of food.
They
though.
she didn't ask for the food. They brought out what they expected her to eat or whatever.
Right. It's a bottomless skillet, but they're going to bring that to everyone.
Correct. But I'm saying
that's a portion.
That is the portion. It wasn't like she was like, I would like 5 pieces of cornbread.
Right. This is the same conversation we've had at other places like this, a garden grill or whatever.
And with all that being said, she did not ask for anything else. Mm-hmm. Steve went ahead and asked for a box because I did see another table get one, and they were more than happy to bring one. And with all that being said, it was nice that she got to take all that back to eat it later, and I'm sure Tay totally ate all of it.
Yeah. That's $43. Like, you're paying for the amount of food that is there. So you should be able to take it.
I agree.
Kind of we've said with that original one.
Correct.
Now we do agree. If you said, "Hey, can I get 5 more ribs?" and then you go, "Can I get a box for these ribs?" That's not
correct.
Right. But whatever they originally bring you is what they decided to bring you. Therefore, you should get to take it, and she did.
Yep.
So we were joking. They had meat snacks, balcony meat snacks.
Yeah, it was great.
But they wanted to go back and eat their balcony meat snacks, and Steve had to head out.
Yes, and then since we were right there at Magic Kingdom, we just hopped on the boat and took a nice little ride over, watched Happily Ever After. And
it was going to be open till 11.
Yeah.
And at this point, it was a little after 7 because we got over there at like 7:40. I didn't realize Happily Ever After was at 8.
Yeah. So we got there right at time.
We walked in, went right in space, and watched Happily Ever After.
It was awesome.
I didn't pay attention to most of it because I'm pretty sure that the lead singer of Switchfoot, John, and his brother who plays bass, were standing in front of us directly, like 3 feet during Happily Ever After. So I spent most of it, but I didn't want to take my phone out and start like trying to look up some like information, like do they have kids, this and that. But Switchfoot, a lot of folks know them. We saw them tour with Blue October last year in August, but they played Eat to the Beat.
Yep.
And a lot of people love to go see them, and I am still 99% sure that was them in front of us. But of course, I didn't say anything.
No.
But after that,
we went to the plaza to get some good ice cream. They do have desserts there, but it was just a chocolate cake and apple pie. And Jeremy was like, no. I could have gone for the apple pie, but everybody else said no. And I'm thinking, all right, what's it over at Magic? We'll get something there. So we were excited to go to the Plaza ice cream parlor and get the Plaza ice cream. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Plaza Ice Cream Sundae. Was that?
I'm like, am I saying all this right?
There were 2, and then we decided. Anyway, it's the one. It's 2 scoops of whatever your choice is.
Which was mint chocolate chip.
Yeah, we got mint chocolate chip
and cookies and cream. Comes in a waffle bowl.
Yep. And then what else was in it?
Hot fudge and a whipped cream and a cherry.
That fell on the ground by the time
Unfortunately, it did because it wasn't
not their
freezing
fault. That was
out,
our fault. Yeah.
and it started to melt a tiny bit.
It was perfect.
It was great. I wish the bowl was a little crispier. I'm not sure why it was what's that word? Pliable. Like pliable.
Parts of it were crispy. What I wonder is if they had taken it so fresh out of the thing that it was maybe it was like still a little warm when they put the ice cream in it, so it didn't have the time to fully set and be crispy. Mm-hmm. The flavor was great, but it was kind of chewy and pliable.
But it was good.
The ice cream was delicious.
We loved it.
Yeah.
We ate it.
Oh my God, your classic ice cream shop hot fudge.
Oh, it was great.
So love that. Then I always like something salty after something sweet. So we did go ride Pirates. It's posted at 25?
15 when we were walking through.
But there was a good queue in not the out uncovered, but like the covered queue that has all the switchbacks. And I don't think we waited more than 15 though. So it was great. Had our own row still. It's not like they were piling people on top.
Yep.
So after that, I was like, all right, we'll kind of head back. You know, we don't need to stay here till 11. There wasn't any other ride that was like pretty much a walk on. They weren't bad. We just didn't want to wait even 20 or 30 minutes at that point. So I grabbed a pretzel, ate that with some cheese.
We went and
you
got
suggested
the
popcorn.
Yep, the sweet popcorn in the
Yeah, it's on the back of the confectionery.
Yes,
It's Colonel, I can't remember what it's, Colonel Kitchen, I believe is the name of it.
And this time they had a called Sweetheart Popcorn for Valentine's. And it was awesome because it basically tasted like a chocolate-covered strawberry.
Yeah, with a little marshmallow fluff.
It was amazing.
Yeah, strawberry candy popcorn.
Yep.
It had chocolate syrup, white chocolate syrup, marshmallows, crushed cookies. Oreos. Everybody, they're Oreos.
And milk chocolate.
Red.
Milk
chocolate, red, and pink M&Ms.
M&Ms, yep.
It's amazing. We love that place.
It's great.
What does it come out to, that one? Because they're $16.99, I believe, pass holder discount. Regular popcorn, I want to say, is popcorn in a topping for $13.99. Popcorn in 2 toppings for $14.99. Additional toppings are $1. So by the time you add this up, I think the $16.99 price is still cheaper by $1 or $2 than if you built that yourself. You know what I mean?
And it's you get pass holder discount.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then
it was such a great.
That was
way
our
to end
weekend.
That night. Yeah. I mean, and we went like we kind of did the touristy thing a little bit. Like we
kind of
had
did
very specific things we wanted to make sure we accomplished with Festival of the Arts, but we did it in a way that if somebody only had 3 park days at Disney, 2 of those at Epcot, and they might not go for another year or 2, that's really kind of how we did it. We made sure we took in the Broadway show. We took in the live artist and the music. We went through the Disney on Broadway. We did all of that. And then this day to start off at Arts and then kind of say, we're going to go do dinner. And then, you know what? We never used to go to a park after dark or after dinner. We just didn't. And now we're doing that like people would, because you think, well, the time is limited, right? Your time is limited, whether it's because you only go there once a year or life is just short. We're just trying to do the things that we maybe didn't always do. Yeah. And it's been wonderful. Had the best time. And literally we popped in, we had those couple things to eat, we rode one ride, and we peaced out.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing.
It was.
Absolutely loved it. So a lot more stuff like that coming up. We are very excited to share 2025 with y'all.
Yeah.
Especially like Disneyland coming up here in April. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can get all those new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. And if you are ready for that next trip, of course, no matter where you want to go, our trusted partner, MEI Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today. And then, of course, Rhonda and I would be so very thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.